Alrighty, so what I did is I got the meat and potatoes out of this, and I just got this all cleaned up. It had a lot of rust. Um, that little son of a bitch there, I don't know what that is. Um, I think this here is your generator valve. Like I say, I don't do this. If you want to learn how to do these stoves, go watch Joe. And what he had warned me about was this little this little hose or gas line right here. So the way it's tapered and the way that it seats, all I had to do was just untighten it, and then just I kind of gently rocked it, let it come out. Then that let me get the generator tube out. He did tell me if I would put fingernail polish on these threads, that would let this open and close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig that little washer out of there. I have a pick, and I'm going to put that little washer on here and try to establish a spot for that washer to sit so it's not just on the end of it where this just unscrews. Then I'm going to put fingernail polish on that screw in there. But I've got this sitting in vinegar and hot water, and it's cleaning up pretty good. So I think the little bastard is gonna I think it's gonna come out okay and start working. I ain't taking this down any farther, because other than that knob and then just cleaning the burn rings, if you take these apart, it goes flat to curved, and so that just is what it is. But I'm gonna get it all cleaned up back together and see if I can get this little prick to fire up and burn like new. So anyway, I'll give you an update later. Alrighty, I think I got this figured out. What I did is I had some of this vacuum line, and so I was able to cut a shim. I took that little copper wheel off and I drilled it just the same size as the brass, slid it on, and then I slid this on with it, and then I put fingernail polish on the threads here, and I gotta let that fingernail polish dry. But I think because inside this cap, to about a quarter, maybe 3/8 of the way up the cap, it starred. So I think by putting that shim behind that little copper thing, what I did is I created space to keep it on the valve itself. That should take the pressure off of the screw, so it doesn't want to just so the screw doesn't come out all the time. But I got everything in here doing its bath, and here in a little bit I will put this back together, if, I don't even know if it'll show up. See that little needle on the very end? That's not going to want to focus. If anybody decides to do this, watch that little needle, because if that little needle gets bent, broke, you're screwed. Everything's for nothing, because then you need that little needle valve. But on these, they go into shit. Things aren't, I got too much shit in front of me. That needle connects right here on that valve. That's what opens and closes it. So anyhow, once this thing gets done soaking, I gotta try to figure out something. I wish I had a little tiny brush or something that I could run through that tube. I'm just hoping that it will, that vinegar will break everything out. I know Joe boils everything, but I don't want my house to smell like a foo-foo factory because of all that vinegar. So anyhow, I think I've got it pretty much to where I think it ought to clean up. Well, it's definitely cleaned up a lot better. There was a lot of dirt and dust in this, so maybe when I fired it up and pressured it up, all the dust that had settled in it had pretty much got liberated, and then it plugged it up. I don't know if it'll show up in that, but you can see all the dirt and rust and shit in there. So anyhow, really all I have left is to let it sit and then put it back together once I'm happy with how everything looks. So anyway, I will keep you updated. Alrighty, when you get ready to put these back together, make sure you have your flat ring and then the wavy one, then flat, wavy, flat, wavy. They just alternate, but then they pretty much just go back in. And like that, then you go ahead and you put the screws in. So I'm going to get this thing back together. I got the generator tube is all cleaned out. Looks pretty good. I've got the needle over here by the valve. I'll put that together, then I'll slide it through here. Go ahead and put that back in, hook it up, and put the burner grill back on and fire it up and see what happens. Alright, catch you in a minute. Okay, when you go to put that together, if you kind of have to roll that needle and then let it find its little grooves, and then it will go ahead and slide in. Don't force it, because if you break that tip off, you got big problems happening. Anyway, I thought I would throw that in there. Got the burner back together. Got it pretty much all cleaned out. Looks a hell of a lot better. Now, I didn't take this thing all the way down to the tank and all of that shit, simply because, well, all I want it to do is burn, and I want it to be real clean. So, anyhow, I'm going to finish that and then get it together. Okay. that is what I am after. If you can see the little star triangles, that's what I was after. So anyhow, I think I have to get a hold of Coleman, see if I can buy this piece right here, that valve. The little screw broke off, and that really didn't work out too good for my team. So anyhow, all I gotta do is put the grate on it, and I think I'm just gonna let it burn for a minute and see if it clears up, or if that's bad gas, maybe something. I don't have enough pressure in it. Anyhow, all I wanted to do was see it burn, and I know it will burn clean. So I'm kind of thinking that it's a pressure gas thing now. Anyhow, there it is. Later. It was just a pressure thing. I pumped it up and she cleaned right up. So anyhow, all I got to do is figure out this damn control knob. Once I get it, little buddy's back in business. Alright, later.